I hate to do this to y'all. I really do. From the bottom of my heart, it makes me feel bad that I'm making this type of a video. But at the end of the day, this was discussed during the Hockey Night in Canada 32 Thoughts intermission segment, and when Elliotte Friedman went out there and said this, it kinda indicated to us what exactly the Vancouver Canucks' actual motives are, and how disappointing it is. I mean, look, Friedman didn't say it was disappointing, but that's what I'm saying. That's what all the other fans are going out there and saying too. So today we're talking about the segment, we're talking about Vancouver, and the reason this is the morning video is because we're also talking about the New Jersey Devils. We also got an ad read coming up later on in the video, but we'll get to more about that later. This is the tweet I wanted to show off to you from Latchin the Crease's Twitter account. They posted the video segment on their profile. You could click the link in the description if you want to go ahead and watch the actual video of Friedman saying what he said, but this is essentially his update on the Canucks situation. 1. The team is not interested in rebuilding or a teardown. 2. Their only untouchable currently is Elias Pettersson. And 3. In Quinn Hughes' case, it would take a mammoth offer for the Canucks to consider trading him. Now, realistically, this entire thing could be 2 videos in and of itself. Oh, we could talk about the team not being interested in rebuilding or a teardown and how disappointing that may be or why they would want to do that. Talk about Francesco Aquilini and playoff ticket sales or anything of that nature. You could talk about how this correlates with the Bo Horvat trade rumors we had heard earlier on what exactly the Canucks would want in a Horvat trade. How they wouldn't necessarily want only picks and prospects, but they would also be interested in assets that can help out today too, while also growing into more refined and more effective players down the line. Philosophically, it makes sense, but of course, in practice, we have to wait for Alvin and Rutherford to pull the trigger on any sort of a big trade before we can assess their abilities, I guess you could say, at doing so. But when it comes to that Quinn Hughes thing, the Elias Pettersson is untouchable thing, the only untouchable, I thought it was really interesting to bring up the idea of a Quinn Hughes trade even being a possibility. Because when you think about Petey and Hughes, these two are the best players on the team. Pettersson is the best player, pretty much, but Quinn Hughes is... I mean, look, he hasn't been the best this season, which is kind of nuts to go out there and say about a guy who is as productive as Quinn is and as effective at moving the puck as he is, but even though he has been quite literally a good player this season, we all know he can be better. If this decor around him was just better, he would have an easier time transitioning the puck up ice and not making bad plays in his own zone, not coughing it up once in a while, and not falling down while spinning around on the half wall. Quinn Hughes is, in a way, overworked, but he is still extraordinarily talented. It's just this season you could very well debate that he does have another gear that in which we have not seen out of him yet. Meanwhile, Elias Pettersson has been probably the best we've ever seen him, and he seems to be getting better despite the unfortunate team structure around him. But either way, Pettersson being an untouchable player makes sense. Quinn Hughes not being an untouchable player, that does not make sense to me, especially when you consider the fact that Quinn Hughes is indeed locked up. Petey, you gotta start the contract negotiation extension process with this guy in July. Now for Quinn, a lot of people, myself included, kinda instinctually thought, okay, Friedman is saying that the Canucks would consider trading Quinn Hughes, but only if they get a mammoth offer for him. And come on, after 3 seconds of thinking about it, oh, what's a mammoth offer for Quinn Hughes? Your mind immediately jumps to the one team in the NHL that is probably, if you had to place your bets anywhere, probably going to be willing to make a mammoth offer more so than any other team out of the rest of the 30 that exist. The New Jersey Devils. Now, Friedman didn't say that, but I am saying that. And a lot of other fans in Canuck Nation, after seeing what Friedman said on TV, were like, okay, so if the mammoth offer comes from New Jersey and it actually does include a boatload of stuff, then Vancouver would consider trading Quinn because, of course, New Jersey has an angle here. If they really wanted to get Quinn Hughes in some sort of a trade, we're starting to acknowledge now that that path is not closed off. Now, before we go deeper into what a trade could look like, if this is ever a thing that manifests itself, we got some ad time for our sponsor of today's video. This video is sponsored by Manscaped.com, the premium global brand for men's grooming and hygiene products. Manscaped sent me their Perfect Package 4.0, which is an all-in-one men's grooming kit for body hair removal from head to toe. Included is the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. It's waterproof and cordless and can be used on hair anywhere on the body. It also has ceramic blades, skin-safe technology, a 7,000 RPM motor, plus a wireless charging dock and a travel lock feature. The Perfect Package kit also includes the Crop Preserver liquid deodorant and the Crop Reviver toner spray. Believe me on this one, these change the game. You never know you needed these until you try them out. And for a limited time, when you get the Perfect Package 4.0, you get 2 free gifts, the Shed Travel Bag and Anti-Chafing Boxer Briefs. So what are you waiting for? Head over to Manscaped.com and get 20% off plus free shipping and those 2 free gifts when you use my promo code LR99 at Manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping and 2 free gifts with code LR99 at Manscaped.com. And so, when it comes to Quinn Hughes, this guy is a franchise-caliber defender. And I feel comfortable saying that because when it comes to the younger-ish guys drafted from 2016 up until 2019-ish, I feel comfortable in saying that Cale Makar is probably in a tier of his own as of right now. The guy is incredible. You could debate that he is a generational defender. I know that's kind of getting into semantics here, but he's very good. And I think that Quinn Hughes is just in that tier below him alongside of the Heiskanens, alongside of the Dahlins, alongside of the Adam Foxes. I do feel like Rasmus Dahlin has the capability of being even better on a much greater magnitude than he has been so far, but still, Quinn Hughes is really good. And so the entire idea of trading this guy away all depends on acquiring a boatload of crap in return. First-round picks, young prospects, elite caliber defenders to come back in return. If the Vancouver Canucks are trading away Quinn Hughes, they're going to have to find a way to replace Quinn freaking Hughes. And I'm telling you this right here, nobody of Tyler Myers, OEL, Pullman, Shen, none of these guys come close to what Hughes is out there for the Vancouver Canucks. So you would need to get a big piece back. Whether or not that's from New Jersey, that's like a Simon Nemec or something, there is potential here for some sort of a trade if New Jersey is willing to depart with an asset like that. Now, if you're talking about Luke Hughes getting swapped over, then you could probably just close this video right now because that's never going to happen. The entire reason a New Jersey team would want to get Quinn Hughes is to play him with Jack and Luke and have them all running a power play with Holtz and Jesper Bratt on the other side. That would be absolutely devastating. But you would have to give up some capital in return. If it's multiple firsts, let's say 2 first-round picks and a guy like Simon Nemec, honestly, I could understand if the Vancouver Canucks said yes. Even if it's not necessarily like 2 firsts or 1 first or whatever, if it's a package of, let's say, Simon Nemec, Seamus Casey, and heck, let's throw in another name just to make it fun, Chase Stillman, Riley Stillman's brother, who is a prospect in Sudbury right now, I would be intrigued as to what exactly the Canucks would do in that sort of situation. Now, of course, I'm not verbatim saying that Chase Stillman and Seamus Casey together are worth 2 first-round caliber assets. It's just throwing out an idea here. There might need to be some more seconds or thirds or whatever added on to make this trade balance itself out in a way that Vancouver would actually be willing to do something with it. Seamus Casey is a guy that I like a lot, playing in the NTDP formerly and now in the University of Michigan system. That guy's under a point per game, and he's a right-handed defenseman. He's really freaking good. You also have some other defenders that were drafted by this team earlier on, like Shakir Mukhamadullin, first-round pick back in 2020. They traded away Ty Smith for John Marino earlier this year, and, I mean, Marino was a guy that the Vancouver Canucks wanted, but they ended up not acquiring him because goodness knows why. So there are options here, and for the New Jersey Devils, a team that has been struggling as of late, even though they had the crazy win streak earlier on in the year, they're still one of the top teams in the National Hockey League. Therefore, let's say if they really wanted to go out there and catch the big fish, they wanted to catch Jaws, then, I mean, Quinn Hughes is there. Elliotte Friedman's going out there and being the messenger to the team right here by saying into the media on Hockey Night in Canada, Saturday night, and we're in the spot, don't believe me, just watch. The Canucks would consider trading Quinn if you give the mammoth offer, and not many teams out there would likely think that this is worth it, but I do feel like just from a fundamental standpoint of fan appreciation and who you already have in your team, and of course the magnitude of talent that is Quinn Hughes, this acquisition would be one that nobody would think is a bad one. Unless, of course, you give away a Hughes in this trade because that would be kind of self-inflictingly counterproductive in that way. But either way, talk to the comments your thoughts about the idea of a Quinn Hughes trade to New Jersey and how Elliotte Friedman says that a trade of this player is not impossible. It's kind of wild to me how he used the language he did in the Hockey Dead in Canada broadcast, but, you know, Elliotte Friedman's a pretty smart dude. He's not going to do this without calculating what it is he's going to say. Elias Pettersson, untouchable, that's easy. But Quinn Hughes, not being untouchable, boy oh boy, is that a situation filled with a lot of nuance, and I want you to tell me in the comment section below all your opinions about it. So, what are your thoughts about the New Jersey Devils potentially acquiring a guy like Quinn Hughes should they decide they want to go all in and they want to catch Jaws? What are your thoughts about whatever trade package they could send over in return? Which prospects do you think the Canucks should be eyeing in some sort of a New Jersey Devils trade? We had talked about a lot of other Canucks being linked to the Devils in the past. Brock Besser, Connor Garland, and then of course Marino back when he was a Penguin was in Canucks-related discussion too, but now he's a Devil, so... thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about this idea over here? Do you think I'm kind of a fool for assuming New Jersey could be the team to do that mammoth offer just because Friedman worded it like that on the broadcast? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.